I'm Assistant District Attorney Lindsay Truhe, and I serve the people of Jefferson Parish in the Homicide Screening Unit. In Jefferson Parish, we are focused not only on achieving justice in the courtroom, but also on using the resources with which we have been blessed to globally improve our criminal justice systems. One of the mechanisms by which we do this is targeted legislation. One bill I would like to talk to you about today is House Bill 14, which became Act 343 when our governor signed it into law. This bill adds the crime of cruelty to elderly and persons with infirmities to the list of crimes qualifying for felony murder, if the crime results in the victim's death. Ordinarily in Louisiana, murder is a killing where the offender has the intent to kill the victim or to inflict great bodily harm on the victim. But one exception to that is the doctrine of felony murder. Many of us have some basic familiarity with the doctrine. The idea being, if an offender is committing a serious crime and a person dies as a result of that crime, the offender is guilty of murder, even if he or she did not intend to kill that person. In Louisiana, our law provides a list of specific serious felonies for the purpose of the felony murder rule, such that if an offender commits one of those specific crimes and dies as a result, the offender is guilty of murder. In 2006, the Louisiana legislature added the crime of cruelty to juveniles to the list of qualifying crimes for felony murder, so that if an offender commits an act of child abuse and that child dies as a result, the offender is guilty of murder, even if the offender did not intend to kill the child. This makes sense given that children are uniquely vulnerable and dependent on their caretakers. However, until now, our felony murder law left out another uniquely vulnerable group of individuals, and this act fixes that. Louisiana law on cruelty to the elderly and persons with infirmities punishes the abuse of elderly individuals and individuals with disabilities that impair their ability to take care of themselves. Until now, this crime was not on the list of qualifying crimes for felony murder. So in cases in which an elderly person or a person with disability was abused by his or her caretaker and died as a result, we were unable to use the felony murder law. And unless we could prove an intent to kill or inflict great bodily harm, we were limited to prosecuting for manslaughter. We felt that this disparity did not reflect the unique vulnerability of these individuals. This act changes that and adds the crime of cruelty to the elderly and persons with infirmities to the list of qualifying crimes for felony murder, to ensure that those who abuse and betray the trust of the most vulnerable among us will face the full force of the law, and that these victims and their loved ones will receive the justice they deserve. We would like to thank all the hardworking men and women at the legislature. Special thanks goes out to Representative Vincent Cox for putting forth this bill for us, and to Senator Pat Connick for his assistance when this bill reached the Senate. Thank you for watching, and we are all honored to serve you.